yo, this is another episode of the Steven from the Old Time Podcast. Listen to my dad, he's awesome.
Welcome to a new episode of Steven from the All Time Podcast, where we bring you nothing but the best in hip hop and in wrestling. I am your host. Hold on a second, I forgot one thing. We bring you nothing but the best in hip hop and in wrestling, and we do not promote anything that has to do with Sami Zayn. You are a terrible Intercontinental Champion. You do not deserve to be the Intercontinental Champion. And it is time for you to lose that champion. Please, let's move on. We have our co-host tonight in the right-hand corner. Actually, no, in the left-hand corner. Sorry, because when I talk about Sami Zayn, I get so flustered because he should not be the Intercontinental Champion. You did not deserve to win that match against Braun Breaker at Money in the Bank. Derek in the left-hand corner. Welcome. Trap, Io Sky's boyfriend, in the bottom middle.
AKA the world's strongest podcaster.
Boys, I am terribly sorry we did not be able to record this on Sunday. Some idiot swerved and smashed into a pole that had all the electricity in our area. And I was missing electricity for a good 15 to 20 hours. But we are back and we are recording. Let's do this. Money in the Bank review. Welcome.
Welcome.
Derek, you seem agitated in that corner.
How did you? First of all, how you guys doing? How you guys feeling?
All good. All good. Steven had to get his little fit out of the way. With that being said, if you're watching this video or you're listening to this video, you probably have power and an internet connection. So like and subscribe. Let's get that out of the way. Let's just make sure we do that, please. It helps us. It means a lot. Also, it's a good way for anyone that's listening or anyone that's watching, for you guys to comment and for you guys to let us know what we're doing well, what you want to see change, and so on and so forth. But like Steven said, we bring you nothing but the best content, or at least the best content we feel we could put out. If you have any ideas, hit us up. That's what we're here for. But yes, Money in the Bank. Short conversation, but let's get into it.
So Money in the Bank, Toronto, Canada. I think I went in with too much of a high expectation.
I think so too.
I didn't get at the end. I didn't get what I wanted from it. Number one, I fell asleep. Derek is a witness of that, as he was at my house watching the event, and I completely fell asleep.
Watching with Cavallo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me and Cavallo. Yeah, he was over. We were watching it.
Very underwhelming pay-per-view.
Yeah, we both said the same thing. We felt like the men's match was too short. But
so
the Money in the Bank.
So your thoughts? Same thing as myself?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Hold on. Let me go to my notes real quick. So, Money in the Bank. So they start off with the Money in the Bank men ladder match. So who you got in there? You got Jay Uso, LA Knight, Andrade, Chad Gable, Drew McIntyre. Am I missing somebody?
No, you got them all.
Oh, Carmelo Hayes.
And Carmelo Hayes. Yes.
Which, by the way, I thought Carmelo, according to my notes, I thought Carmelo Hayes, he stood out the most to me. I guess they gave him most of the spots, but he really stood out. I thought he had most of the good spots. He showed what he could really do in this match, I thought. But besides that, I thought the match was pretty underwhelming.
Too quick.
Just all over it was too quick. I felt like it was too quick, and they were just all over the place. And that could be the thing sometimes with these 6-man matches. It's not too much trying to focus on everything. So it was just all over the place, I felt like. But again, like I said, Carmelo Hayes, I thought he was amazing. That fucking sunset flip powerbomb from Andrade to Carmelo Hayes off the top of the ladder onto the other ladder, I thought Carmelo Hayes died. So that was like one of my highlights for that match. But and then of course the winner Drew McIntyre won the briefcase.
which I was
But
surprised about.
I was kind of surprised too. But then again, I thought about it because the storyline. So I'm like, all right, it makes sense. But I was really surprised. So, and I feel like it was a waste. But we'll talk about that later when we get to it. But besides that, not really. Nothing I really take away from that match. That match wasn't didn't really
Hmm.
give me anything besides
Um,
those two highlights from
Derek,
Andrade.
Derek, we were watching it together and we really didn't seem excited. I found that the match just there was no flow to it.
Right.
Thoughts?
I agree with Trap. I think it was slow, and I think it felt like they were not prepared for it. Um, you had a lot of different superstars trying to do different things. Um, and obviously, I think they relied on the most gifted athlete of the bunch, which was probably Carmelo Hayes. Jay Uso can put up a good match when he's in a match with other Jay Usos. I put that in other types of wrestlers like him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think having McIntyre win, and I remember Stephen, we spoke about this before the show started. I told you that was going to happen. I told you McIntyre was going to win. I told you that what was going to happen afterwards. I called it.
Mm-hmm.
So it made sense. I wasn't surprised in that regards. But I was just surprised in the. I'm not disappointed in the result. I'm not disappointed in the match. I'm just underwhelmed by the delivery of the match. It felt like we had some good spots, but they were trying to focus too much on the big spots from the ladder. And that meant that you have to put someone in danger of doing that. And that means that you're fairly limited in who you're going to put in that position.
Right.
I would have liked to see an exchange of finishers at some point. I would have liked to see, the good old fashioned Money in the
Mm-hmm.
Bank. There's ladders. They didn't bring out tables. The ladies had to bring out the tables, whereas Toronto was calling for tables. By the way, shout out to Toronto, great crowd. They really showed up, made a lot of noise. Um, but yeah, I think Drew McIntyre could have came out of that looking more like a beast than he did. He didn't really look like a beast. Carmelo Hayes was by far the best. Jey Uso looked like Jey Uso. I feel like I feel like the biggest loser in this whole situation is Andrade. He just felt
Yep.
like he was put there just to be put there, and that's a shame because he's by far one of the most talented wrestlers on that roster.
Absolutely.
LA
No
Knight
pop.
came out, no pop. LA Knight
Which
came
is
out looking
crazy.
like LA Knight. Really, he didn't stand out, and he didn't hurt himself in any way, shape, or form either. This doesn't take any steam away from him fighting with Logan Paul at all for me. Um, so yeah, it was underwhelming. It is what it is. We had high expectations because the lead up to it has been really, really good, and the weekly
Mm-hmm.
episodes have been really, really good. But yet
Yeah.
again, we've been saying this for a few months now. If you want a good weekly content, you tune into WWE. If you want good pay per views, you tune into AEW. And sadly, both of those companies are not taking hints from the other company in terms of what to do when it comes down to those weaknesses. So, yeah, it is what it is.
I wanna bring up a couple of more points to that match because I think it's very important, especially if they started with it. I found Jey Uso's presence in the match to a very minimal amount. You hardly saw him in the match. He was mostly outside of the ring, lying down in a corner on the floor, not doing too much. Um, I found you saw a lot more of Drew. You saw a lot more of LA Knight. You had a lot more
Carmelo.
Carmelo.
Of course.
Even Chad took a lot of space in that match. Did he do a lot? No, but he took a lot of bumps in that match. So I kind of was like, I kind of knew mid match that Jey Uso was not gonna win unless he was gonna climb the ladder at the end, and which he did, and Drew threw him the ladder into the stomach. But I just found his presence was to a minimal. We expected because these guys have a lot going on outside of the Money in the Bank match. We have Chad Gable with the Wyatt Six. We have Drew with CM Punk. We have Chad. We have Jey Uso. I guess with a bunch of other people happening at the same time because he really has matches with everyone right now. Carmelo Hayes, I would say, with LA Knight, and a bit with Logan Paul, and then LA Knight with Logan Paul. And none of these guys interfered in the match. We've had many Money in the Banks in the past where we've had a lot of the outside storylines interfere in the match, and there was just nothing. So we wanted so much to happen and to receive so much from this match that we didn't get anything. And then, go, Derek, you're going to say?
And I think to your point is just to really tie this all together. And I've said this before on this podcast, and you both remember, the WWE is really good at focusing on one story and pushing one story and not really focusing on the other little stories. And this was the prime example. Who did we push? We pushed McIntyre for the sake of one story. We didn't push any of the other guys whatsoever for the sake of their stories. And interference would have made sense in their stories. It would have helped develop their stories. But all we did, we gave McIntyre the briefcase to further that story. So you didn't make anyone look bad. You didn't further any stories. You only furthered one story, and you didn't really even further the story. You sort of just added a notch to it. It didn't go any further. It didn't change the rivalry or anything like that. It just sort of like gave it a second sort of like little nudge to it. So, and to your point, I think having those interferences this match should have been chaotic with all the interferences and all the stories going on. And it wasn't. And the fact that we were expecting it to be meant that when it came down to just it being a wrestling match, we were underwhelmed. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because before the match, Triple H said the landscape of WWE is going to change. Bullshit. Nothing changed. Nothing changed at all. So, like, put your money where your mouth is. And if you're going to change it for real. And this is us being harsh critics, but as fans, we couldn't help but be on the wrong. So,
yeah, I think that's what it was. But then when I watched it again, I kind of felt different because I watched it twice.
And in what way did you feel different?
Like now that I watched it, then I wasn't expecting all the interferences and stuff. I still feel like it was still a decent match, but again, it was still all over the place and couldn't focus too much on it, and they didn't really I feel like it was too short.
Yeah,
definitely too short.
It could have been a 40-minute match. There could have been a lot more happening. I get it. They were putting more. There was more of a time frame in what else they wanted to do, and we're gonna move on to the next match. But before we get to the next match, Drew McIntyre wins the Money in the Bank. Did you see how much segments in between each match happened?
Bro, it was I think, hold on, I wrote it down somewhere. I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes of wrestling, and then the rest was the commercials and advertising.
Yeah, advertising. Sorry, not segments. We had one segment that we'll get to. Because I want to put a lot of thought into that one.
All wrestling, hour and 20 minutes.
It didn't make sense. They spent 10 minutes on showing the YouTube video for the documentary on WrestleMania 40. It just at one point I went outside for 15 minutes and I came back in and the match was just about to start.
Right.
So I don't like we have 5 matches per pay-per-view, but we have like a good hour of just stupidity happening in between.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Add an extra match. Add
do something. A 6th. Why aren't the champions defending their titles?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Exactly. So, second match is the Intercontinental Championship match between
your favorite wrestler
Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. Let's just be honest. There was no pop for Sami Zayn coming out. He had I would say, maybe 40% of the people in the arena cheering for him. One person with a sign. No, he had no pop. One person with a sign that said, "We love Sami Zayn," or "Toronto loves Sami Zayn," but nothing else. Braun Breaker had a bigger pop than Sami Zayn. And
it's in his blood, man.
And it goes to show that the character that his title reign as Intercontinental Champion is decreasing at a fast pace. And the match itself was a mediocre match. I thought Braun Breaker took control of most of the match. You mentioned, I think, Derek, throughout when we were watching it, that it was slow pace. There was not a lot going on. It was taking forever. The outcome of the match itself kind of didn't make sense. There was no interference again. I would have liked to see maybe a Sheamus, a Dragunov. Yeah. Right. Like, I would have liked to see a lot more
Even
happen.
a big Bronson Reed.
Yeah. But for Sami Zayn beating Braun Breaker clean the way he did, and after the beating that he received, did not make sense to me. I would have liked, if Sami Zayn would have won, I would have liked for Sami Zayn to win because there was an interference, because Braun Breaker used a chair, because Braun Breaker spent too much time outside of the ring and the referee had to count them out. Something like that happened to the match. But Derek, to your point, when we were watching it, you found the match was slow. There was not a lot happening, right?
The match was not what it should have been. And once again, I'm being critical, but I am the legend killer of podcasting after all. This is how superstars have been buried in the past. And to Steven's point, if you're going to have Braun Breaker lose, while also maintaining Sami Zayn kind of still being face, because anytime someone wins with an interference, it's mostly the heels, like a quick roll-up, just a quick roll-up. Braun Breaker gets distracted by something and he just sort of like small package and one, two, three, and then he runs out of there, right? But to do this finisher once, just once, not twice, not having to overly beat him, just once clean. And it's tough for me to say, but that's how you bury superstars. Now Braun Breaker was ransacking his way through NXT, ransacking his way through the WWE, and he gets put in a position to fight for a championship where physically he should dominate the other superstar and doesn't do so. Now, how am I supposed to believe that Braun Breaker will ever be able to beat someone bigger than Sami Zayn? And everyone's bigger than Sami Zayn. How am I ever supposed to believe that one day we'll have Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar and that Braun Breaker has a chance? How am I supposed to believe Braun Breaker will one day fight for a world heavyweight championship against Seth Rollins or McIntyre or Punk? I can't believe it. He lost to Sami Zayn. I just can't do it. If you're pushing this guy to be the destroyer of worlds, to be the future Brock Lesnar, the future Goldberg, you just killed that. You just absolutely killed that. So now what do you need to do? You need to, if you're Triple H, you need to go back to drawing board and you need to find something else to do with Braun Breaker, because that destroyer of everyone, it's over. It's game over. He lost to Sami Zayn. This was the easiest way to put him over as being an absolute monster, and they failed to do so. Now you can't do that anymore.
It makes no sense. No sense. It made no sense. It was kind of the shock of the evening, because I was really going in there being like, okay, something's gonna happen. Braun is either gonna win this or there's gonna be a no disqualification. And to quote my brother who was present that evening and is to every pay-per-view, Sami Zayn must have some really big evidence on Triple H that Triple H does not want Sami Zayn to lose that belt, or something will come out. Like Triple H was part of the whole shitting on people with Vince McMahon thing. Let's move on to the next match. Probably the most important match of the evening for me. Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Champion. If Seth Rollins loses, he can no longer go against Damian Priest for the championship, as long as he's the champion. And if Damian Priest loses, he needs to leave the Judgment Day. I really enjoyed this match.
I did too.
It was really
I thought it was a good match.
I really
enjoyed it.
It was really amazing to see Seth Rollins come back. Yeah. Derek, we said it many times, it looks like he put on a lot of weight. He doesn't look as muscular and as fit as he was at Mania and before there. But I've said this before.
He was moving good, though. That knee don't look too bad. He was doing springboards and all of these. I was like, okay. I was like, I see Seth. I
Seth
see what you're doing.
Rollins will be the closest, correct me if I'm wrong, that we will ever get to the superstar, the athlete, the in-ring innovator, Shawn Michaels. The closest thing after Seth Rollins would probably be an AJ Styles, but I find he's more of a high flyer than in that category. But Seth Rollins in the ring will always be the guy that puts his body on the line. He will always go that extra 10 miles just to put on a performance. That's who he is. That's what he learned from. And whether he's injured or not injured or there's something going on, he will always be the guy in the ring that will put on the best show. Am I wrong or am I right? Derek first.
I think he's part of the conversation in WWE anyway. I think there's other superstars to mention. I think Finn Balor is one of those guys. Um, Finn Balor has been doing it in New Japan for years. He's used to putting his body on the line. He's been hurt. He's been a champion. He's good on the mic when giving the chance to. Um, but yeah, I think that was a great match. And really, I got nothing negative to say. Really, Priest to me keeps impressing me in the ring. Like whenever it gets time to deliver on pay-per-views, I feel like he delivers. It's what he does on the episodic shows that I feel like it's lacking a little bit. But
Mike.
on the mic, but on he's got this presence around him where like he commands respect because he's a pretty big guy. He's athletic. Like he shouldn't have to speak that much, if anything, if any at all. Really, he should keep his mic sort of presence to a minimal because his in-ring presence should be enough. He chokeslams people. The only people who chokeslam are the big guys who dominate. So he shouldn't even be bothering. If he's El Campeon, he should just be El Campeon. Don't speak. Just do what you need to do in the ring and just get the fuck out of there, right? But yet again, I think that was a really great match. I think
besides the botch.
Besides the botch,
it was a good match because he was
referee. That was the referee's fault.
I guess he was supposed to kick out, or they were waiting for Drew's music to hit. Something happened there where he did not kick out, and so I don't know.
I think if you're Priest, so for those of you who are listening, Seth Rollins goes to pin Damian Priest. Referee goes 1, 2, and then holds the count at 3. Priest never kicks out, and then 5-6 seconds later, Drew McIntyre's music hits. So
and the lights, the lights
went up. Yeah. So from that perspective, the referee should have finished the motion regardless of what happened. Priest, no matter what, out of that should at least kick out at 2 3/4 because what's the worst thing that could happen? He kicks out at 2 3/4 and Drew McIntyre still comes in. But if you're waiting on that timing to have Drew's music hit to interrupt the count, not quite what it should be. What's the worst thing that happens? Rollins pins and then Drew McIntyre shows up. Like it's too many little factors to have land
and
really, really
well. Still turn into a triple threat, and then he could still pin him, and then be like, champion,
yeah. He should have just kicked out. They should have really just have that referee have the least amount of responsibility possible. But listen, it is what it is. The sad thing is that it's 2 pay-per-view. It's a few pay-per-views now that there's botches.
Oh yes.
So and you know what? Like kudos to Triple H for trying to do different things, for trying to keep people on their seat and so on and so forth. But let's just have maybe less moving parts for it to go well. And let's just stick to like 1 or 2 moving parts. And then that's it. In the case that one of them fails, at least the other one's there. Right. So we're not relying on that one big part, which in this case was production. Production is the one at fault here. Production should have started that music way before. Worst comes to worst, your production, as soon as the first count happens, bang, the music starts. That's it. It corrects all of the issue. You don't have to worry about it. But it is what it is. It happened anyway, and they'll learn from it.
So Drew McIntyre cashes in the Money in the Bank. It becomes a triple threat match. Drew McIntyre beats on Seth Rollins, beats on Damian Priest. He gives his finishing to Damian Priest. What happens out of nowhere? CM Punk runs to the ring, beats on Drew McIntyre takes him out of the ring, hits him with the steel chair a couple of times, throws him. Drew McIntyre gets back into the ring. CM Punk takes the World Heavyweight Champion, hits Drew McIntyre with the World Heavyweight Champion. Damian Priest gives him the. Is it called the choke slam?
South of Heaven choke slam.
South of Heaven choke slam, which he does pretty well, and I really like it that he choke slams him and sits down at the same time. I really enjoy that. It's a different thing to bring to the choke slam move, because the choke slam move is basically just a basic move. You pick him up, you choke slam him, and then you pin him. Damian Priest wins, regains the championship belt. CM Punk just fucking screwed Drew McIntyre over once again. Damian Priest looks at CM Punk. CM Punk claps. Seth Rollins finds CM Punk, and he goes after him, and he just tells him, "Why did you get involved in my business?" End of story. Everybody goes back to the back. We're all in shock. We all knew that was going to happen. That if Drew McIntyre would have cashed in, that CM Punk was going to screw him over. There would have been no way on God's green earth that Drew McIntyre was going to win that championship. Well, do I think he would have been a better champion than Damian Priest? Absolutely. But it just adds more to the story mode. And I got to say, I got to give kudos to Drew McIntyre for being that type of guy for the WWE, for being that punching bag, for getting screwed so many times for the World Heavyweight Champion, and sticking to the plan and continuing this feud with CM Punk till they face one-on-one, whether it's going to be at SummerSlam, whether it's going to be at the pay-per-view after
Bad Blood.
Right, Bad Blood's coming back. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when CM Punk is coming, but I just got to say, I love this Tom and Jerry cat and mouse chase between these two, because I would have never seen Drew McIntyre and CM Punk go at it, and it just
don't make it a triple threat. Please, enough with the triple threat and the 6 matches. You can't. I'm talking about for the World Heavyweight Champion.
No,
please,
you can't. You can't. Again, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen with that story mode? I have no idea.
Rap, what'd you think of it overall? Because I remember before the podcast, you said that you felt it might have been you said the word waste, and I just want your clarification on why you say it's a waste.
What
when we were talking about Drew cashing in?
Oh no, I said some people felt like it was a waste of a Money in the Bank, but I felt like it made sense for the storyline. But some people felt like it was a waste of a briefcase because he lost it too soon. That's what a lot of people were saying. So, but overall, I thought the match was pretty awesome. I thought Seth looked good. He was doing springboards off the rope. That knee looked like it's holding up fine. I thought they had pretty good chemistry. The back and forth I thought was good. It was very entertaining. Everything looked real. I just thought overall it was a good match for Damian Priest to showcase himself against some of the top talent and to put all those rumors to rest. And I felt like he performed. Besides that one mistake, which by the way, a lot of people are not really talking about it the day after, which I thought is pretty good. That is not really a big deal. So that's a good thing for him also. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the match. I thought it was good.
I remember a few episodes ago, we were talking that we didn't believe Priest as champion.
Of course.
It's 2 pay-per-views in a row where he goes against arguably 2 of the top 5 guys in WWE, Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Has your opinion on Damian Priest as champion changed at all within those last 2 pay-per-views?
As far as
Go Trap?
I mean, somewhat. I mean, I still feel like his reign is still lacking. I don't know if it's him, but I feel like he's showing that he can be that guy by keeping up with 2 of those top guys. So I'm not really mad at it. He's performed. He performed well.
Okay. Look, he's that type of champion that I just want him to hold the belt for a couple of months and then never regain the belt ever again. He's just that. He's filling in the space, filling in the void, or whatever you want to call it. He's just there for now. Something's gonna happen. He's gonna lose the belt when he faces Gunter at SummerSlam, and then he'll just have a feud with Finn Balor, because you saw Finn Balor at the event. The Damian Priest told Finn Balor, "Do not interfere. It's not your match." And Finn Balor gave him that death stare. Okay, he gave him the demon stare and said, "Yes, boss." So that is going to play on itself at SummerSlam and after SummerSlam. I'm telling you now, that is what I see. It's going to be a Damian Priest Finn Balor feud for like 2-3 months, and then the Judgment Day is going to beat on Damian Priest, and that's what's going to happen. And then he's going to just be a mid-card level guy going for the IC champion. That's what's going to happen. I'm calling it now. Trap, you have the next 5 minutes to talk about the
Why?
next match.
Oh, what was the next? The women's Money in the Bank. Oh, all right. So I got some highlights from that one. I'm gonna breeze through this real quick. So the next match, right, was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Zoe Stark, and Naomi. So let's see. So they all get in the ring. First thing they do, they all run out, which I thought, okay. So then we got Chelsea Green in there. So they give her her little solo comedy act where she's acting like she's trying to reach the ladder. So I guess they got to go for comedy. All the other girls are just out there scrambling around, I guess putting ladders up. So then finally you get a solo in the ring with Io and Lyra. They're exchanging blows, going back and forth. Lyra almost slips when she goes to do the tornado DDT off the rope, but Io catches her and let her finishes on her. So that happens. Then we get another solo in the ring from Zoe and Lyra. And did you see? Oh man, I felt bad for Zoe. When she tried to do the overhead press to Lyra to land on the ladder, she completely missed it and Lyra hit her arm. So then she had to set her on the ladder. So then after that, she goes to do the center springboard moonsault, and then she totally misses and hits her head on the ladder. And I'm just like, is this girl okay? I'm just like, damn, is Zoe okay? I just felt so bad because
They were going
I
too
was like,
quick. The match at the
I think
beginning is really going too quick. That there was a lot of they were missing a lot of things. There was a lot of
yes,
moves being missed, a lot of spots being missed. I find it was trying to be
yes,
really too quick to innovate the crowd and put the crowd on a different mood.
yes. I think that's what happened because after she did that, I just was like, oh my God, is this girl gonna be okay after that? Like she really hit her head. Like, how do you miss that? So then we had more Naomi and Zoe in the ring solo. Then of course Tiffany comes in, interferes. I love when Tiffany does that cartwheel into the Alabama Slam. I love when she does that. So she hits Naomi with one of those on the ladder. And then we got more Io and Chelsea Green. They're fighting with the ladder to set the ladder up and whatever. Then you get more comedy from Chelsea. Then you get Io stomping Lyra to death on top of the ladder, just stomping her silly, and then she fucking overhead press her on down from there. And then from there, we got more fighting in the ring. This is what my notes say, right? So we got more fighting in the ring. Now they're just assembling more ladders. Now Io's on the top with Zoe Stark. And then out of nowhere, she hits her with a Michinoku driver from the top of the ladder. Boy, I thought Zoe Starks died in that match at least twice. One from herself, and then from a Michinoku driver from Io Sky. Again,
Which was
which
insane,
is insane. Which, by the way, I thought Io Sky was the standout in that match.
shocking.
I mean, she was. I mean, who else was really this? I mean, if you want the comedy from Chelsea Green,
I think Chelsea Green
Io
did a good job in the match, though. I'll be honest.
as being entertaining, but as far as in ring and doing, I thought Io Sky was the
And
standout.
Naomi.
Oh yes, and Naomi. Those are the only two. And then so now towards the end, we got I forgot this part. So now outside, Tiffany and Chelsea are setting up tables side by side. More fighting continues in the ring. Everybody's down. Now Chelsea's climbing the ladder, thinks she's gonna win. Who climbs the other ladder? Tiffany Stratton pushes the ladder. Boom! Chelsea takes a bump through through the tables, and Tiffany Stratton is your money in the bank, like Derek called it. Well, no, I called it. You had Chelsea, right? As a
I
sleeper.
had one or the other. I don't
You
remember.
wanted the other,
I had
yeah.
Chelsea.
Rewind.
I had Tiffany, yeah. So, and Tiffany is your new Miss Money in the Bank, which I think is cool. That makes sense. But overall, I thought the match again, like I said, it wasn't the greatest. It was okay. It felt rush. A lot of missed spots. Again, EO I thought was a standout and Naomi. But I think the winner was the right winner. Um,
I just, again, I was, look, the match was more
oh
enjoyable than the
wait, I
men's.
forgot. I just got to
The
say one more thing. So the teenager in me almost died because I seen Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton on my TV screen at the same time, and I just was like, "Wow, this is some elite milk right here." Like, you gotta understand. Like, the boyhood in me was just like jumping for joy. Trish Stratus next to Tiffany Stratton on the same screen together. Whew, man, man, oh man. Just had to throw that out there.
there was a lot of milk on the TV screen.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I
elite.
couldn't agree with you more.
Oh
Elite
man,
milk.
yes. The teenage boy in me was so ecstatic, man. Ooh.
Let's move on to the very underwhelming, boring. I fell asleep through it. Main event match between the New Bloodline
You thought it was boring?
versus Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes.
Jacob looked actually good. He
Jacob
lost some
Fatu
weight.
was the
He,
whole
yo,
the
he
thing that I liked about the match the most.
yeah, I was
Everything
gonna say
else,
that.
there was
To
once
be
again, it
in the
was
ring
underwhelming.
with professionals like that, he kind of looked like he was the one who's been doing it longer than everybody to like kind of outperform a Kevin Owens and a Randy Orton, not outperform him, but to almost look but like you're the more what you call it professional compared to them in the ring. I thought it was awesome because he really looked strong. He looked dominant. He was hitting his move sets. I just thought how they attacked the match and how he was supposed to be as the enforcer and how they use him in the match. I thought it played to his abilities well, and I thought he was really like the star of that match.
He was
I
prepared.
really
Let's
thought,
put it
yeah,
that
yeah, I
way.
really like he lost weight as you can tell from how he looked a few months ago, and then he's in shape. That fucking moonsault that he hit Cody with, I just is like, how do you do that?
Yeah,
Like
he was
to
prepared.
be the yeah, to be able to move like that, and then that fucking hip thrust he hit Kevin Owens with. I thought Kevin Owens almost died. I was just like, dude, this guy is fucking strong, and like just paying homage to the whole Umanga. I just was like, yeah, Jacob Fatu, if they play it right, he's gonna be a beast. Like I would
Absolutely.
want to see him away from the bloodline and like give me some matches with him and some of the elite players because he's he's really that good.
Derek, what did you think of the match? Again, I fell asleep. I wasn't. It was
He said I
very
fell asleep.
it wasn't. It was very uninteresting. I'm super happy. I did not see the low blow, from
Oh my god,
Tonga to Kevin Owens.
so horrible. It was just like yo, this whole pay per view was just like botch after like I don't know what was happening with this year Money in the Bank,
But yeah,
but like almost every match had something like, dude, oh man, that was
Yeah, it was
funny.
it was the match was all right. The match was all right. We got a lot of Jacob Fatu, a lot of Tamatanga, some Solo Sokoa, quite a
Right.
bit of Kevin Owens, and then
Hmm.
who were the other two guys? No, I didn't see them. It's as simple as that. Listen, and I got all but respect for Cody Rhodes, got all but respect for Randy Orton. Hell, he's in my probably top 5 greatest wrestlers of all time. I'm just gonna be honest here.
Hmm.
If you're Randy Orton and you can't keep up with the young guys anymore, dude, sorry to say, but either compete with guys that are up your speed or maybe just retire before you hurt yourself. Like if all you're gonna do to not hurt yourself if you can't keep up is stay on the outside of the ring, it makes you look weak. And yet you're still Randy Orton. You're still the legend killer. You're still all of that thing, but you're not wrestling as much. And listen, I understand we all get older. I understand it gets more difficult, but if it's more difficult, you got to showcase him in a match that still makes him look good. And that was not a match that made him look good because the three other guys he was fighting were younger. Were younger, more athletic, hungrier, sharper, quicker, faster, stronger. And it is what it is.
And Jacob eating his vintage DDT doesn't help Randy Orton either.
It doesn't.
That just make Jacob look like, oh shit, he's the next, like he's a beast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like really props to the whole bloodline. I think they really did. All of them did well, except Tama Tonga with the thumb up the butt. Fake botch.
Tongaloa.
Yeah, Tongaloa. My bad. Anyway, it is what it is. Really not much I could say. I feel like it was a match that was rushed.
Beat up Kevin Owens. Yeah, all they did was beat up Kevin Owens the whole match.
Yeah.
You got Jacob a little bit of Cody Rhodes. Yeah, that's who stood out.
Boys. Jacob Fatu looked good. That was the whole point. It was to make him look good, and he looked good. And to Trap's point, whenever he ran at Kevin Owens with that hip thrust and the turn, the last time I saw something like that was Umaga doing it,
right?
Which fitting, it's his uncle, but that looked so rough,
devastated.
That looked. He came at him full speed. Like there was no halt in his step whatsoever. Because often what happens with that move is that they kind of slow down just in case the guy's head is in the wrong place. And he went like, you know what? If your head's in the wrong place, that's your fault. I'm running at you. And it made it look so much more believable. And kudos to him. Kudos to him. I think I'll go against the grain from what Trap said before on I don't want to see him in singles matches.
Okay.
I want him to just be the enforcer of the bloodline. I want him to absolutely beat people to a pulp, not in a singles match. I don't want anyone punching him and make him possibly look weak. I want him to get the first punch, and that's the only punch he needs. That's all I want. I want it to be an absolute monster until that story with the bloodline develops a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant.
In a few weeks, in a few months, get him involved. But before that,
oh yeah, keep him like that, how he is now.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
He just needs to tone it down on the mic just a little bit, a little bit. Yeah, on the mic, he's pushing too hard to be the crazy guy. He's trying to be too much Umaga, but the reason why he worked with Umaga is Umaga had someone to speak for him. He doesn't have anyone to speak for him, so he needs to just say nothing. At that point, nothing is good.
Mm-hmm.
And the finishing touches to the match were Solo Sikoa pinning Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. Solo Sikoa pinning Cody Rhodes. I can't. That just sets it for what's gonna happen on SmackDown. What's gonna happen at SummerSlam. That is just another story in itself. And I'm actually excited to see what they're going to do with that. Because Cody Rhodes was just pinned for the first time since winning the championship. End of story. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, we got to get into the elephant in the room.
Almost cried, man.
John Cena, which I was in complete shock. I was like, why the fuck is he in Toronto, Canada?
Once I seen the towel and what it said, I was like...
But he came out with new merch, the towel. He got into the ring, and everything pointed at...
Wait. Trish Stratus.
Yeah, Trish Stratus with her big jugs.
Love Trish Stratus.
We'll need to put into perspective in terms of what the towel said. So John Cena showed up, and it said, after this, or after something along those lines, you can't see me. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time is now, and after this, you can't see me.
So it all pointed to him either retiring at that evening or a farewell retirement tour, which is what he will be on for the next year, if I'm not mistaken, if what I understood.
He wasn't gonna miss Raw. He wasn't gonna miss Raw on Netflix.
Okay.
See, they slick. He like, oh, wait a minute. I think I got something left in me.
So he's going to. He said he's going to be at the next pay-per-views. He included Royal Rumble. He included Elimination Chamber. He included WrestleMania 41, and so on and so forth. So
and
he's
house
going to
shows.
and house shows.
After the evening, the young lady that was with Wade Barrett and Biggie, I can't remember her name, said that so far confirmed there's about 30 to 40 dates
Wow.
confirmed with John Cena, which is that means he's coming back for this full year and he's coming back very close to being full time. So that's good. Good on him. But yeah, John Cena is retiring.
Look, I have never been a huge John Cena fan. I was at first until he started feuding with Edge and then going on that path to be the guy like John Cena taking over what The Rock had brought to the table and taking over what Hulk Hogan had brought to the table. Because if you have to put him up against anybody, he is going up against those two. I'm going to say it right now. He has taken babyface level to the most extreme level possible. And I don't think anybody else on the planet Earth is ever going to reach that. Maybe Cody Rhodes. Okay? But you know what? What he's contributed, it says on his merch after this, you can't see me. Exactly that. And on the front of the shirt, it says John Cena farewell tour. I can't even talk tonight. But yes, what he's contributed and what he's brought to WWE and just professional wrestling, you can't even describe. He's been in wrestling for over 20 years. He is probably, like I mentioned, probably the biggest baby face ever. Okay. He is the superstar for the children, for kids. My son got into wrestling because of John Cena. And John Cena wasn't even fucking wrestling. Okay. Like, to that extent. Look, he's smart. He's not a dumb guy. The guy's retiring now. He's in his 40s, and he's doing it before he gets either really injured or
look like Randy Orton.
Or before, yeah, he looks like
he's doing it before he looks
dying
like
in the
Orton.
ring. Like, he ain't gonna get to the Undertaker the way the Undertaker did it.
Oh, man.
I don't think he can get to what Shawn Michaels has done, and I'm talking about in the ring performance. Because let's be honest, John Cena has maybe 5 moves.
No way. John Cena has a bag when he wants to show you.
He doesn't have a bag now. He's not going to have the bag now. He had the bag back then. I'll give it to you. But now he doesn't have the bag. Unfortunately.
He's older.
Look, what these guys now. But listen, these guys now, when they're brought into the ring, they ain't doing 25-minute matches. They ain't doing 30-minute matches. They ain't going over a level of maybe 15 minutes, 18 minutes at best, and they're going to give you those spots. The spots that the crowd gets on their feet. The spots that the crowd goes, whoa, yay, clapping, screaming. He's going to have those 5 moves, and that's it's going to be. The rest of the match, unfortunately, he's going to probably get a beating. Depending on who he's fighting, the other person is going to carry the match. But on the mic, I will give it to him. There is nobody that could match him on the mic as a babyface. It makes the people that love heels really hate the babyface. And he gets the kids completely involved, completely on his side. But the heel people despise what John Cena does. And I give him credit for that. So
yeah. I think they despise him. I think they despise him because he's just so good. And he was the doctor of thugonomics before, and he was a heel before showing up with the chain, and he was a great heel.
Bob Buchanan.
He was a great heel as well. But then they pushed him to the moon, and honestly, kudos to him because he ran with it. That guy single-handedly carried that company for a very long amount of time.
Wrestling Gresham era too.
They had to bring him back whenever they felt like WWE was going down. They had to bring him back to bring it back up to help other superstars coming in. We're just talking about Roman Reigns and how much John Cena has meant to Roman Reigns' career, really gave it a second sort of win by calling him out, really put pressure. And listen, there's been plenty of showcases of John Cena's talent. John Cena, if you've seen him in movies, he holds his own. I genuinely enjoy watching him in movies. He brings something fresh. I don't think he has the range of Batista. I think Batista might be a better actor overall. But if you're looking for someone who brings a comedic relief, who is just a funny guy while also being a physical presence, I think he really brings that. And he's got no shame. He's unapologetic. He's willing to laugh about himself. He's willing to look like a dumbass. And I think that's kudos to him. He helps kids, whether it's Make-A-Wish, whether it's no matter what. Listen, the guy's out there. He's putting in the work. He was a great ambassador in the ring for WWE, outside the ring for WWE. And he'll forever have a special place in my generation's sort of wrestling career. I'm 33, so he'll forever have a special place because we started watching wrestling really towards the end of the Attitude Era and really came into the Ruthless Aggression area. And there's a reason why it's called the Ruthless Aggression Era. John Cena in his first match against Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle said, "Hey kid, what do you bring to the table that I haven't seen before?" He looks at Kurt Angle and he says, "Ruthless Aggression." He literally had an era named after him, after something that he did. And that's kudos to him. And forever, I gotta say, other than him, The Rock is probably the best on the mic, maybe Stone Cold. And he obliterated The Rock in the promos that they did together, called him out on having it written on his wrist, genuinely creating beef between him and The Rock because he's that good and he's on that level. Every superstar that you see today, they're better on the mic because John Cena was there to let them know that this is how it's going to be now.
Talk about a guy who really cares about the business, who really cares about his character. He cares about the people he's facing. He just cares about the whole product. That's why I respect the guy, because he cares about that. It's not all about John Cena. It's like, hey, you want me to lose the belt to RVD at One Night Stand ECW?
Sure.
No fucking problem. Here you go.
It's the business.
If it's good for the business, I'm going to do it. You want me to lose in my hometown of Boston, Massachusetts to Edge? No problem. You want him to beat up Edge to beat up my dad? No problem. Like, there's all these things that he did, and I watched the documentary on John Cena, and it was so interesting to see how genuine the guy is and how much he cares. And that's what brought me to the respect level now as an adult versus when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I was like, fuck John Cena. There was no way I was liking him. It's kind of like the anger I have with Sami Zayn, not to that extent, but because John Cena is way better. But like, he made me hate him so much and really go towards the heels all the time. So
and he made those heels. Those heels were great on their own, but the reason why they were so great, the reason why trench coat rated R superstar Edge was that big, like crazy Edge. It's because he had John Cena as the babyface. The reason why the Big Show was so huge and his resurgence of his career was because John Cena was there. The reason why Randy Orton is one of the most despised heels of all time is because John Cena was the babyface. All of those superstars owe a lot, and CM Punk hinted to it. Even CM Punk, who was very harsh when he left the WWE, he was a very harsh critic of John Cena. Even him, he's like, thank you. He's like, you can't talk about my career without talking about Cena's career. And I agree. What brought those next level heels was Cena being so good at his fucking job.
And he was the top champion. He was the top. Like, you had to go through John Cena to become champion.
World champion. Okay.
And he's tied with the Nature Boy. He's tied with Ric Flair. People don't realize that John Cena is tied with Ric Flair.
In this, but John Cena has all of them in the same company.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's big. That is huge. That is absolutely enormous that he accomplished that in his career with the same company. Talk about a guy who's loyal. Talk about a guy who's faithful to what he does. And he said it before. Everyone was asking him questions in the press conference. What do you think of this? What's your opinion on Vince McMahon? He's like, I'm not here to talk about this. He's like, I'm here for questions that you guys have about what's coming up next. And all of it was just like, I just want to give back to the fans. The fans are the reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I love the company. I'm doing this because this is what's best. None of it is, I'm old, I'm washed up. None of it is that. It's, I want to give back to the fans. That's all it is. And I think that's kudos to him.
And he has the most Make-A-Wish Foundation appearances. Is that what it is? The most ever.
Listen, he has memes that we still use to this day, whether it's the "You Can't See Me," whether it's and his name is John Cena. There's plenty of those. They're everywhere. The guy is all over the world. And I'm a little younger. I'm 33. Steven, you're the same age as me. Trap being
35,
being a little bit older than us.
You're 25?
I'm 35.
Oh, okay. We're the same age, me and you. Yeah, me and you are the same age. 35. Derek's the young breed.
I'm the baby. I'm the baby. But you guys being older, do you guys have the same relationship with watching John Cena wrestle than I do?
Yes, I have the same.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I was a teenager, bro. I went from watching the Attitude Era straight into that when John Cena was beginning. So like I grew up with John Cena being like you know how the older guys had Hulk Hogan of that era? Like they grew up like that's just who I grew up with. Like John Cena is my guy. Like I seen when he introduced him into now. So to be with somebody for like 20 years and to see the career he's had and some of the matches that he had and being involved in some of the like, it's just so amazing. Like he has everything. He has the charisma, has the athleticism. He has definitely the mic skills, and you can see it early on. And for him to last that long, for 20-year career in one company says a lot. 16-time world champion, held the United States champion, tag team. Like and like Steven's point. Besides before Cody Rhodes, he's probably the most over baby face the industry's ever seen.
Absolutely,
it has to be. It has to be.
I'm excited.
But I want to ask you this: how you think his farewell tour is going to go? I think everybody should just put him over, let him win the title one more time.
Yeah.
Let him win the Royal Rumble. Let him win the title at WrestleMania. Like that's how I feel. I feel like they should put him over. See, they should just go and not put nobody over. But then, you know how the wrestling critics are gonna be. Oh, he's doing the whole Hogan. He's not putting nobody over.
No, he's not gonna do that.
I know, but he should though. Never. They should put him over. Let him win the title one more time. Let him have a short run. I don't know.
I want him to enjoy his time. I want to enjoy it. Yeah. I want my son to be able to follow the farewell tour and be able to see him actually in the ring for more than just a couple of times. I actually want if they come here for a pay-per-view or a live show or whatever, I'm going to be bringing my son. Hopefully John Cena is going to make an appearance one last time in Montreal, and my son could see him live as my son's favorite wrestler of all time. And if they do a meet and greet, maybe I'll spend the $6,000 on the meet and greet just to go see him and make my son. But I don't know, Derek, you?
I think we should. I think it's just like concerts. You guys love music. We know this is a music podcast. If you have a chance at seeing bands whenever they announce that this is their final tour, regardless of what the band is, please do yourself a favor and go. You have to understand that a band announcing a farewell tour, a wrestler announcing a retirement, it's the end of an era. It's the end of a generation. You don't need to be the biggest wrestling fan. You don't need to be the biggest music fan. Just go. Be there to witness that moment. Be there with other people to share in that moment, because that's going to be something you're never going to forget. And if you don't go, you're going to regret. John Cena comes to your hometown and it's the last time he ever shows up, wrestles. You got to go. You
Oh, yeah,
gotta
you
go.
gotta go.
He, at least, you know what? In my opinion, even if you don't do it for yourself, do it for him. He deserves that. He's been putting his body on the line. He's done so much for WWE, so much outside of WWE, whether it's popular culture, cancer, helping the kids, doing the troops. His support to the troops overseas has been enormous. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. And in terms of how his run's going to be, I want to see one more match with Randy Orton. I want to see him one more match with Punk. I also want to see him pass the torch over to the younger superstars. I want to see him put over the Braun Breakers. I want to see him put over the Cody Rhodes. Really him passing on the torch for those superstars he feels are next to step up. Whether it's Drew McIntyre,
AJ Styles one more time too.
Absolutely,
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. I really want to see that. I listen. It's John Cena. No matter what he does, I'm on board for it. I think so far, based on everything he's told us, I think everything is planned out. It seems like the way he spoke about it during the press conference and in the ring seems like everything's planned out in terms of what the storylines are going to be, what the matches are going to be. Obviously, Triple H is pretty quick at reacting with what the crowd wants. But you know what? Let's enjoy this, because we don't know when's the next time we'll have a superstar start in a company from a very young age and retire with the same company. He might be one of the last ones, because Cody Rhodes has come back, and that's fine. But he's also spent a whole bunch of years away. Drew McIntyre did the same. The next one's probably going to be Randy Orton, but Randy Orton doesn't seem like he's hinting towards a retirement anytime soon. I think he's going to do like an Edge thing. He's just going to retire like one day, and that's going to be it. So in terms of what this is, let's just enjoy it for what it is, and it might be the last time we see a superstar like that. So let's go for it.
Absolutely. Before we get up out of here, Monday Night Raw. Do we have any thoughts? I am gonna say one thing.
I got a lot of thoughts. I got notes. Hold on a second.
I really hope that the Pride book is actually helping you out with this with the podcast.
Because I have notes.
But I am very happy that the feud between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker is continuing. I am happy that it did not just die there, and we are going to see a continuation of this into SummerSlam. I am hoping that other people get involved in this match, whether it's Dragunov, whether it's Sheamus, whether it's Big Bronson Breaker, whatever his name is.
Bronson Reed.
There you go.
And Braun Breaker. He makes Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
It's a long night. It's a long night of hating.
Big Bronson Breaker.
But I would love to see a Fatal 4-Way as triple threat match. Something else happening added to the storyline. Go for it, Kaiser Chieffer, whatever his name is.
Ludwig Kaiser.
There we go, Ludwig Kaiser. I love it. What about you? Trap?
Raw?
Raw. Yeah, we're Raw.
So let's see what we got. So it started off. We got CM Punk promo. He comes out more antagonizing. Seth Rollins comes out, interrupts him. They get into a heated exchange. He tells CM Punk off, tell him you only think about yourself. You are selfish. And so they go back and forth for a little bit.
I gotta say, I'm gonna bring a point to that right now. I think it's very important. That was probably one of my favorite promos right now of the year between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I think those two in the ring going back and forth at each other's neck is gold.
Whoever says, and it sort of feeds off what Rollins says, that CM Punk is selfish. Whoever says that CM Punk has not evolved as a person just needs to watch that promo to understand that he has.
Exactly.
He lets Seth Rollins talk his shit, and without saying anything, put Seth Rollins over as probably a big baby face. And we saw people were booing Punk and they were cheering for Seth Rollins. They were in the middle of the promo. They start singing Seth Rollins a song. All that by CM Punk not saying anything and letting Rollins cook. That's it. That's as simple as that.
Punk,
and that was perfect. Punk played that perfectly, from his reaction to when he came out. He sort of had a face to Rollins coming out and making the comment about the heel, like everything. It just, all of that was, it was
that
really
was
good.
Great.
It was a solid promo.
It was really a solid promo.
Go down the list, Trap. Let's go.
Oh, so then after that, we had a Dominic promo. Nobody really cares about Dominic Mysterio at this. Well, nah, he just had a little promo in the back with Liv Morgan again. We could skip that. Then we had Pete Dunne versus Big Bronson Reed.
Skip that. Boring. Fell asleep.
Sheamus comes out.
Fucking boring.
To come help his boy, because he used to be boys, whatever. Boring. Then we got another Judgment Day promo. This time Seth Rollins comes. He's like, I want to talk to you, Damian Priest. So they talk. He's like, yo, I'm glad you kept up with your part of the agreement. So Damian Priest is like, you know what? I'll tell you what. After I'm done with Gunther, because he's confident he's going to be Gunther at SummerSlam, he's like, you could get another shot at the title. So everybody's happy with that. So Seth Rollins gets another shot at the title.
Ain't gonna happen.
We got your favorite person. Sami Zayn comes out. So then he's in ring cutting a promo talking about he wants to be respected because he feels like he doesn't get enough respect. Look at Steven leaving. Sami Zayn says, I done beat Gunther. I done beat Braun Breaker. Again, that didn't do anything for Braun Breaker. All this did was make Sami Zayn look good. That match, that Money in the Bank. If he was supposed to make Braun Breaker look like that, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So then Braun Breaker.
Okay, good. You're done. Thank you. Braun Breaker speared him twice.
Out, interrupts, and then he spears the shoes off of Sami Zayn.
Thank you.
Oh my God! Then he starts beating Sami Zayn up in the ring. What I put in my notes. Oh, so he's beating him up in the ring. The president, Adam Pearce, comes out, security. They're walking back. Then he does his little trick to Adam Pearce. Then he runs back, spears Sami Zayn again on the outside. And then the end of that. Then after that, we got Judgment Day versus Awesome Truth. I mean, we've seen that match already with Carlito and Braun Strowman, because this is a 6-man tag match. Because they still have to take care of the Braun Strowman problem, because apparently the Judgment Day still hasn't figured out the Braun Strowman problem. So, they do the typical Braun Strowman run spot where he runs around the ring. This time, R-Truth runs with him. So they do the run spot together. So I thought that was funny. Then the matches end because, of course, Finn Balor beats him with his move. So they lose. Miz looks pissed. People are pointing at a potential Miz might turn on R-Truth. Who knows? Then after that, we got Liv and Dom in the locker room. Liv stretching out Dom's quad. The Judgment Day comes behind, peeking behind. I thought that was funny. That was kind of silly. They're peeking behind, like, what's going on? And then Damian Priest goes, it's not that hard to get rid of this. And then Carlito goes, it looks pretty hard to me. I thought that was funny.
Love Carlito. I've always loved Carlito.
Oh, Carlito, man. So I thought that was funny, bringing a little some fun to that. I thought that was hilarious.
Wasn't that the main event? It was
Liv Morgan. Wasn't the main event. Wait, no, that was. Hold on, that's coming up. So, but after that, we got the Y6 promo. So we got that again. Bo Dallas. We see Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas was in Adam Pearce's locker room waiting to talk to him. Looked like a complete psychopath and very pale.
Very pale and looked crazy. So I wanted to see where they go with that. And then we had Ego. I'm sorry, I can't even speak tonight. Ego Dragunov versus Braun Breaker again. And Braun Breaker loses because he throws a fucking chair at Ego Dragunov.
Braun Breaker is me. Just a very small version because I snap a lot and throw things. Braun Breaker does the exact same thing and gets himself disqualified. Continue.
So I thought that was good match. Then we had Damage Control versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance and Lyra Valkyria. Damage Control picks up the win. Io Sky hits over the moonsault. And then out of nowhere, they get attacked by Sonya Deville, Tony Stark, and Shayna Baszler. They attack Damage Control. Wait, here's some of the names for the group that some of the people gave them. We got the Stud Line. That's the name of the fraction. They were saying that the Lesbian Shield and
I
Butch
like that one.
and Butchman Day.
I like the Lesbian Shield. The Lesbian Shield could really, really work. Everything can just come full circle once that happens.
So Butchman Day, those are some of the names Twitter was calling that fraction after they beat up Damage Control. And then after that, Gunther cuts a fire promo.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Amazing promo, and talks about why the WWE needs him and why it was lacking people and why he needed to bring the pain. I thought was fucking amazing. Then it showed that he was fucking fat and he was Walter. I'm glad they changed his name from Walter to Gunther. I think Gunther sounds more, but I'm glad they highlight that. And then we finally reached the main event. Damn, Raw was a long ass show, wasn't it?
I gotta cut. I'm waiting for you to finish so that I could put my point in place.
God damn. All right, so now we finally reached the main event. Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan team up against Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega. They have a match. Dominic and Liv win. They get a little bit too personal. And who the fuck comes out? Rhea bloody fucking Ripley. The Eradicator. I missed her so much, man. Boy, did you hear that pop that she got when she came out?
Insane. Well, her song is just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, her song. Yeah, first of all, her song is phenomenal. Just the pop she got, I jumped up when I heard that fucking sound. Like, this is what I've been missing. A mystery of Ripley. She heads to the ring. Liv Morgan makes a beeline through the crowd. She confronts Dominic Mysterio, and then Raw goes off the air. The fucking end of Raw. God damn, Raw is a long ass show. I'm looking at my notes now. I'm like,
I gotta give you credit. I gotta give you credit, and the reason why I'm giving you credit is because you stayed up till 11 o'clock watching this full thing. I am going to be honest with you. Raw needs to go down to 2 hours. Number one, and number two, they gotta stop with all this fucking filler. There is too much filler on Raw.
Too much filler. Yo, I'm looking at it now. It's like promo. Look, Judgment Day. They had like 3 Judgment Day promos.
Enough.
A Sami Zayn promo. Another Judgment. Like, it's like a YS6 promo. It's like, bro, how many? At least give us some good promos.
It makes no sense. It basically did not answer a lot of the questions we had from Money in the Bank.
Okay. It did with the Judgment Day promo. When Priest brought it up, he was like, you know, besides the mess up and the referee, I did prove that I'm a champion. So they kind of addressed it in one of Damian Priest's promo because he was throughout Raw a lot. So he did kind of address it there.
We have mid-level Jey Uso fighting up against Chad Gable. Okay, I don't want to see that.
I forgot about that.
We have, you said it, 4 Judgment Day promos. I don't want to see 4. There's so much filler that they've been adding to it when it could just
having matches
and no answers to what happened on Saturday. It's not what I want to see. Drew got suspended. Fuck.
Oh no, he's
really?
Coming back.
But hold on. Why is Drew getting suspended? I know what he did after the show. Drew should have been there. There should have been an altercation between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. That's what we want to see. Yes, I get the Seth Rollins CM Punk angle. I get it. But Drew should have came out. At that point, yes, he's suspended. But make him show up to go after CM Punk and have the guards come out. Stone Cold used to do it. A bunch of people used to do it. Security came. The cops came. Why didn't we do that? Why is Drew at home after one of the biggest failures in his career happened on Saturday? Well, he had the last top 2 failures of his career in the last month and a bit. But again, why is this not happening? Why are we putting consistent filler on there that we do not need to see?
Oh, it's going to get better because they're going to do that with SmackDown because SmackDown is moving in 3 hours when they move. It's already bad enough that it's 2 hours and they got that. So now they're gonna give me 3 hours of that.
I just
And
want to
once
see the pretty deadly and tag team matches consistently every week, and I will
I want
be
to see
happy.
Montez Ford a lot more, bro. Montez Ford is so good. Like I don't think I think people like they underestimate how good Montez. Like he's good on the mic. He has charisma. He's really good and like he's actually good in the ring too. It's like they need to showcase that tag team more. I feel like because enough is enough already. And they better do that now, especially if they're going to be moving it to 3 hours now. And so it's like,
Jesus.
yeah, SmackDown's going to be 3 hours now, coming 2025 when they move.
Derek,
ladies and gentlemen, that was Raw.
I want to just hear Derek's opinion before we get up out of here. Anything for Raw or just your blank stare into the camera of nothing happened? Because I know you by heart.
I'm going to disagree with you guys.
You liked it?
You liked it?
I liked it.
What?
I liked it. For the simple reason that I see promos, wrestling promos, the way Trap sees singles, music singles. Trap sees singles as like, what is he going to do on the album? I'm curious, where's this sound going? Oh, I'm curious. I might listen to this album based on the singles I've heard. I see promos as the same thing. How do you build storylines? You don't build storylines with having insignificant matches with stupid people. You build storylines by cutting promos. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. If there's no reason for Braun Breaker to attack Sami Zayn unless Sami Zayn cuts a promo. It's the only way. Only other option is attacking him in the back. But then you have everyone attack him in the back. And you have to keep in mind, it's a lot of filler, yes. But just the way Trap spoke about him. Trap was not disappointed with any one of those promos. Every one of those promos brought something to the table. He said the Gunther promo was fire. He said that the Judgment Day promos were funny. They were hilarious. They were funny. So they all brought a little something to the table. It's not like you get those boring promos or whatever the case may be. The Wyatt Six, he said he's curious about to see where it goes from here. But that's because they cut a promo. If they don't cut a promo, then you have no idea what's going on. There's no way to build a story. The only way you build a story is promo, match, promo, match, promo, big match, end.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. There's no other way for you to bind to the character because most of the time when they're in the ring, you don't hear them talk. You don't know their personalities. You don't know how they feel. You don't know if they're angry, if they're upset, or whatever the case may be. By doing promos is the best way to build storylines for the future. And from a promo perspective, you get to see how the crowd live reacts to what you're trying to build. If you don't do those promos, you'll never know what the crowd thinks. What are you going to do? You're just going to scour social media all the time. Like, oh, we put up this match. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's a great match. But why was it that match?
Right.
You need promos. You need this. You need the fans to be the fans. Also, it's Ottawa, Toronto. They're like 4 hours away. You need to know what the fans are feeling. What's the pop like? What's the promo like? Are they rallying behind what he's saying? Are they booing what he's saying? Are they agreeing? So I think you need all of those things to make wrestling work. But I do agree that it's a lot of promos for 3 hours. Like Steven said, let's cut this back down. I think if you do 3 promos, 6 matches, I'm okay with that.
Or if you're gonna do that, showcase more. Like the Judgment Day was on like 4 different promos. Let's see and Liv. I was just like, bro.
But they were all funny.
But they were all funny. Yeah.
They were all funny. They all brought something. Yeah, everyone brings a little something. Carlito's hilarious. Finn Balor is great at being whatever he is right now.
Yeah.
Damian Priest, other than like in the ring promo, I think holds up his own in the back.
In the back,
the back promo, I think is really good.
Great. But for some reason, in ring promo, he's like struggles a little.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's because he gets too much light, too much attention, and I think
too much spotlight.
And I don't like the way he holds the mic.
I was just about to say that.
He doesn't seem convincing or
not comfortable. He's not comfortable.
Yeah, he's not. It's like he's not comfortable, but backstage.
But at the same time, and it's so odd because if you watch,
really odd.
Not this press conference, the one he did before when he beat McIntyre.
Yeah,
he was for real.
Yeah,
he was like, "Tell me, I can't beat Gunther. Tell me, you said I couldn't beat McIntyre. I just did. Tell me I can't beat Gunther. Please tell me." That's how I want. I just want the raw, honest. He's been around the business for a while. I want that Damian Priest, not the Damian Priest putting on a show. I want raw, authentic Damian Priest of like, keep underestimating me. Keep fucking doing it. Let me show you what I could do. I just be two of the biggest superstars. Yeah, keep coming at me. And to end Raw, Mommy's back.
Yes.
If ever anyone was in doubt, other than Cody Rhodes, who the biggest superstar in WWE is, watch Raw and then tell me I'm wrong, and then I'll tell you to shut the fuck up and sit down. It's as simple as that. Rhea Ripley didn't even put her lips to a mic. That pop was ridiculous. She didn't even speak. And everyone's like, no matter what happens next, everyone at this point is tuning in next week to see if Mommy shows up.
I need to see Mommy. I miss seeing Mommy on Raw, bro.
She is one of the biggest superstars that the WWE has right now. I am so happy she's back. She looks phenomenal. I absolutely can't wait to see where this goes. If this is Judgment Day breaking up.
Did you see her back? Oh, even though it's like kind of sexy, even though it's kind of big. I was looking at her back. I was like, whoa.
Rhea Ripley is one of the biggest superstars WWE has, and they've been doing everything right for her.
Yeah.
The storyline with Dom Mysterio is fluff. It's nothing much to it, but that sets up a rematch with Liv Morgan. I'm all for it. Let's get back on the track with these superstars coming back from injuries. Rollins is back. Ripley's back. That's good for business. Let's just find out where it goes. And to Trap's point before, real quick, the White Six. I think that was another great promo. I think that tape was really good. Yeah, I think he showcased everyone the way he said, I took the discarded, I took the unwanted, I gave them, they were happy that they felt like they belonged here, but now it's time to let them loose.
Right.
And that is phenomenal. Bo Dallas has made it such a long way from being not really good on the mic, not being believable, to now the promos that he's been doing, those tapes he's been doing, they're eerie, they're crazy, they're sadistic, they're everything that I want out of this whole faction is delivering right now. Now I just can't wait to actually sit him in the ring, because it's been 3 weeks that they just keep interrupting Chad Gable. Now it's about time you put a whooping on someone.
Right, somebody, yeah.
That's it. I don't know why it's Chad Gable. I wish it was Jey Uso, but
there's something.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They keep teasing Chad and the Creed brothers, because during one of those promos, I think it was one of the Judgment Day promos, you see him in the back talking to the Creed brothers again. They're doing something with them. Something with them is coming, and
but
I hope it's good.
But
because I like the Creed brothers, I want to see the Creed brothers more.
And I agree. I agree with you also on Montez Ford. I think Montez Ford is one of the most underused superstars in all of the WWE. That guy is a future world champion. I say it now.
I'm glad
the 7th or the 9th of July. I'm calling it. He's a future world champion in the making.
Bro, I'm glad you said that, because when I say that to somebody else, they think I'm bugging. And I'm like, do y'all not watch it? Like, he has all the makings of a champion. He has the charisma. He could cut promos. He could be a heel. He could be a baby face. Bro, he's athletic in the ring. Like, what more do you want from a WWF superstar?
He needs to get rid of that tag team.
He needs more character. He needs more character. He needs to change up his attire. He needs to be on a solo run. That's what he needs to do. He needs an Intercontinental champion. He needs a U.S. champion. He needs another belt. For fuck's sake, bring the European champion back. God damn it.
Like, do you guys remember Velveteen Dream?
Yes.
Round sunglasses, always looks super sharp in the ring. Absolutely. Slick talker. He needs to be a little bit like that. That's what he needs to bring. Like I look good. I'm a great performer. I talk great on the mic. I'm better than you. Like, if you want to prove me wrong, fight me. We'll see who wins. Like, we need that from him. And to just the one last point I want to make. We talk about Chad Gable. We talk about the White Six. Every time that they interrupt Chad Gable, Jey Uso is never far. Right. Every time. Now they interrupted a match. It was Jey Uso, Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Before that, they interviewed Jey Uso about and to the right point, Chad Gable was like, you stole the Fireflies.
Right.
Yeah. And Jey Uso was like, no, they can have him back. So I think they might just be misleading in terms of like making Gable feel like it's him and having sort of Jey Uso drop his guard and then like they're gonna have another match, and then they're gonna attack. Everyone thinks it's gonna be Gable. Big surprise. It's Jey Uso. You stole the Fireflies. We don't like that. That could be a crafty way of misleading us. And I think that's what the WWE needs now. We know where the stories are going, but I want you to surprise me. I want you to mislead me and lead me into something else. I want that right now. So
look, let's see where it goes. Let's see where Raw brings us. We got SmackDown on Friday. We got SmackDown on Friday. And we'll see where it goes with the bloodline and all that jazz.
Yes, sir.
Boys, on that note, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here.
Always.
We'll do the road to SummerSlam once the matches are all announced for the wrestling side. And we'll be back.
Coming out this week?
Yeah, we'll be back for... there's the Vegas 7 and Ferris Blues album that came out. On Friday.
That came out?
No, it's coming out on Friday the 12th. We have a bunch of music to review in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, Bushman Bodega.
We have a bunch of music to listen to and to review in the next couple of weeks. But before we get up out of here, I just want to give a big congratulations to the Abyss podcast on their 150 episodes.
Nice. Clap it up for them. That's big.
110%. Primo Jab, the Wise Man Carl, Lukey Cage, for all you contribute to the culture of hip hop, to the world of the underground hip hop, for podcasting, for putting me onto artists, and also for supporting the All Time Podcast. We appreciate you. Big congratulations on the 150. Cannot wait for the next 150 and all you guys bring and contribute to the podcast. Thank you very much. And on that note, boys, we bring you nothing but the best in hip hop and in wrestling, all combined in one. If you haven't already, for the love of God and all things holy, please like and subscribe. Okay, and write in the comments.
That like button.
Write in the comments. Tell us what you think. Argue with me, argue with Trap, argue with Derek.
Argue with me about your top 5 wrestlers, and I can tell you why they stink.
We want to know. We want to know more. We want you to contribute more. That like, subscribe button is not far away. It's somewhere in the corner there. Malenko, pop it up so they could see what it is.
And Malenko, pop up that video footage of Trish Stratus standing next to Tiffany Stratton too. Man, that was a beautiful segment.
On that note, boys, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Like and subscribe.
Peace.
Peace.